the Portuguese delegate, on his way to claim all of Africa at the Berlin Conference. Today I will go fishing in the North Sea. Clueless. Would you look at that? The Russian Baltic Fleet. What are they doing all the way out here? 1907 Dogger Bank incident. Thomas Jefferson trying to negotiate the Louisiana Purchase from the French in 1803. I have $3. Irish Republicans thinking about the best idea for a present for the upcoming visit of Margaret Thatcher. A bomb. Ancient Rome haters, when they realize it wasn't a brutal imperialist slave state, but was actually just guys with cool armor and big marble buildings. I get it now. Chinese emperors uniting China. We have to judge their actions in the context of the time period. My brother in Christ contemporary sources were critical of them. The Confederacy starting one of the most destructive wars in human history over a completely antiquated system of agricultural production. Most of the crap Reagan did. Reagan's sense of humor. Safety, liberty, mom. Who is your favorite? Sweetie, I love you both equally. It's you, and by a lot. King Henry II reaction hearing that Archbishop Becket has been murdered by his knights after misunderstanding him, saying, "Will no one rid me of this turbulent priest?" As an order. You what? Wrigley Field. Sir, you can't bring your pet goat to a ball game. You have to leave. William Cyrus, I'm about to end this team's whole career. When you realize the colonists had the high ground in the Battle of Bunker Hill but still lost. Guys, I found the Maginot Line. First guy watching some guy wrap some filling in flour dough and steaming it. Hol up, let him cook. Alexander the Great going around and conquering the Persian Empire and looking for Darius not knowing where the F he is going because maps do not exist. Why did you leave the Western Front nearly undefended? I don't care if you win. I need the USSR to lose. How the soldier portrays the war to his mother. What the war really was. Who knew red and yellow went so well together? The Soviet Union. My grandpa says he still goes to the range every week in case Germany wants round 3. My dumb butt learning America was established 100 years before Germany. You are without a doubt the worst Mesopotamian copper merchant I've ever heard of. But you have heard of me. Ruining the ancient culture by destroying pagan temples and statues. Saving the ancient culture by translating and preserving the work of pagan writers and philosophers. Ferb, this one's looking at both of us at the same time. Christian church. Chattering. Okay, I'ma read about this Pol Pot guy. My freaking god. France watching Britain name all their new dreadnoughts after captured French ships and the ship Napoleon surrendered on. Mr. President, we haven't found any weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. I know. Which side are you on? Overly sarcastic productions. Oversimplified. Advancement in the Middle Ages. Europe. Middle East. Mongols. Polish High Command when they lost contact with 15th, 16th, and 21st Infantry Divisions after counterattack. 15th, 16th, and 21st Divisions rushing to the German border to encircle 80,000 Soviet Europe in a rush. The Wensleydale Creamery about to close its factory due to extremely low cheese sales. Wallace and Gromit. 1862 book Les Miserables be like. Life is crap. Life is crap. Life is crap. Life is even crappier. Life is crap. I sure love watching some Iraqi public television on this fine day in February 1963. I sure hope nothing wacky or creepy plays soon. Nice argument. Unfortunately, I wrote a book in which I'm the chat and you burn in hell. Please help me. No. The end of the Great Wall of China. Obviously, it has to end somewhere, but it seems like the Mongols could have gotten a little boat and just gone round. Britain starts slightly losing money. Copenhagen. How King Tut was portrayed when they found his tomb. King Tut portrayed using new technology and DNA evidence. when your cave meme only counts as prehistory because writing hasn't been invented yet. Historians. Divided Germany, Korea, Vietnam. Divided Yemen. Divided Austria. George McClellan barely manages a stalemate despite knowing Lee's exact strategy and having a more than 2-to-1 manpower advantage. Abraham Lincoln. Robert Hanssen after being charged with searching for the Soviet spy. Bangladeshi civilians. West Pakistan Army. Indian Armed Forces. United States 7th Fleet. Soviet Pacific Fleet. European explorers. Onward into uncharted territory. I freaking hate people. Late Qing emperors. Maybe we should modernize to stop foreign powers from walking all over us. Empress Dowager 60. Me in class explaining out of nostalgia why 2000s were the best decades. The Iraqi exchange student. Will I ever be as good as the old masters? Will I ever be as good as the old masters? Will I ever be as good as the old masters? I'm the best. Somethings. The Soviet Army. Soviet soldiers invading Finland during the Winter War. Simoheha. Wilhelm I appointing Bismarck as a prime minister in 1862. Him speedrunning the creation of Germany a few years later. When a Serb kills an Austrian in Bosnia, so you, an Englishman, must fight the Germans in France. Egyptologists coming up with random theories to explain gaps in history because they don't have the archaeological evidence or texts to know for sure. Random bullcrap go. World War I army generals, after giving their malnourished men stale bread for breakfast, before they go over the top and inevitably die in shell fire, well, eat up, we've got a big day ahead of us. 18th century explorer, wow look I just found a new tiny little island, the British Empire. August 1943, American and Canadian forces on the island of Kiska Colonised. Everyone, stop firing. We are shooting at our own men. Faraday inventing the electric motor in 1821 like, good day, gentlemen, I'm here to change the future. You have no idea how angry I'm right now at you. I'm sorry my king, please don't hurt me. Don't worry, I forgive you. Really? Yes, and I will give you this nice elephant. Thank you my king. Yo Prometheus don't give fire to humans. Nah I never in a million years. 2 seconds later. Yo this is lit. I'm going to crack his skull to get rid of his headache. European monk. Traveling Muslim cleric. We need to chain Fenrir at all cost. Any ideas? Then you're in luck because we forged a chain. We just need someone to trick Fenrir. Yo bro wanna see a magic trick? Of course T. Just don't put that chain on me. Pinky swear. Okay, but put your hand in my mouth so I can be sure. Country where a guy was president 11 times, lost a war in 18 minutes, got his wooden legs stolen by Americans, got exiled and lost in the jungle, and had to get reintroduced into society because he turned feral. Danish workers in 1956 at Ron Airport seeing a Polish MiG-15 flying towards them at 200 km per hour. Italians on their way to colonize 3 countries with absolutely nothing to offer for craps and giggles. Japanese Navy sailors in 1598 seeing a very angry box-shaped ship heading towards them at full speed. Sumerians be like, this gentleman here is a respected member of society with wife and children, and a stable career. Germany every 20 to 50 years. Gentlemen, it is with great pleasure to inform you that it's time to a war with France. Indian historians now. Mughals were benevolent rules. No, they were brutal imperialists. Indian historians back in Vedic period. So basically, my lord, around 50 million people died in this battle. Sounds a bit unlikely but sure, I'll note it down. Benedict Arnold would be a famous American hero if he hadn't turned traitor. He's out of line, but he's right. Belgian tank approaches German enemy lines. 1917 Colonised. Me. So, it all started when the Jews got tired of Roman rule. The person I'm talking to, what does this have to do with the Israel-Palestine conflict? Me, we get there when we get there. People who say long swords are better. People who say katanas are better. Me whose favorite sword is the cutlass. But Poles are taking all the jobs. British after war. Then why did you give Poland to Stalin? Ken Rex McElroy. So this man was killed in this town. The inhabitants of Skidmore. Yep. The police. And all of the townspeople were gathered at the same place and time at the moment he was killed. Yep. So at least one of you would see who killed him. Makes sense to me. So who killed him? I don't know, Mayo. Religious people fleeing to the America. Finally we can practice our religion in a new world. We shall all live in relative peace. Meanwhile the Puritans. Finally we can pursue other for their religions. I will ready the pyre. When the TikTok kid who makes little dark age edits gets sent back to World War I, gets trench foot and dies painfully of mustard gas instead of enjoying better times. The British ask you to deliver letter to a guy named Hashim. He's the uncle to the Sultan and needs help fighting some rebels. He rewards you by making you governor of a city. It turns into an independent state ruled by your dynasty lasting until the end of World War II. The Russian peasants when a Russian soldier captured a French soldier and was given to them to do as they pleased. Alexander to his soldiers after they told him to go back to Greece. This ride only stops in an emergency. Crying is not an emergency. You know a few Japanese words from anime. I know a few Japanese words from World War II history. We are not the same. So we should try planting cactuses in this new land we discovered. The dye industry is worth a lot. I don't know if that's a good idea, but we haven't found a good region to grow them. Let's try. The Romans builds a new fleet, gets destroyed in a storm. The Romans builds a newer fleet, gets destroyed in storm again. The Romans builds another new fleet. Mother Nature, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? You are the first Europeans to make contact with the Japanese. They make fun of your nose,